Today we're talking about how OpenAI became the nexus of the technology world in 2023. But before we get into that, the fitness tracker isn't dead. And if you're hearing this, you're probably one of the people keeping these little devices alive. Smartwatches like the Apple Watch and the Samsung Galaxy Watch have all but taken over the mainstream wearable space, but the humble fitness tracker remains an option for anyone that's really focused on one thing: accurate workout and daily activity monitoring. Despite the overwhelming popularity of smartwatches, there are still a number of solid fitness bands out there to choose from. We've tested a bunch of the most popular fitness trackers available today to name our top picks. Check out our list of the best fitness trackers for 2024 at Engadget.com. And recent years have brought an influx of self-proclaimed cozy games, video games explicitly designed to invoke good vibes. That said, being cozy isn't the same as being good. To aid those who'd like some help winding down after a long day, we've rounded up a few chill games that strike the right balance, ones that purposefully de-emphasize failed states, violence, overwhelming grinds, intense competition, and other aggressive urges, but aren't overly cute for the sake of it or so stripped down that they're boring. Head over to Engadget.com and read our 17 relaxing video games to help you de-stress. These are some of the best relaxing games you can play on your Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, or smartphone. We're just over a year since it burst onto the scene, and OpenAI's ChatGPT program is somehow even more everywhere than it was in February. Our capability to regulate generative AI and mitigate its myriad real-world harms, on the other hand, it continues to lag far behind the technology state of the art. That makes 2024 a potentially pivotal year for generative AI in particular and machine learning in general. Will AI continue to prove itself a fundamental revolution in human-computer communication, on par with the introduction of the mouse in 1963? Or are we instead heading down yet another overhyped technological dead end like 3D televisions? Let's take a look at how OpenAI and its chatbot have impacted consumer electronics in 2023 and where they might lead the industry in the new year. Meteoric doesn't do justice to OpenAI's rise this year. The company released ChatGPT on November 30th, 2022. Within 5 days, the program had passed 1 million users. By January, 100 million people a month were logging on to use it. It took Facebook 4.5 years to reach those sorts of engagement numbers. ChatGPT outpaced the launches of both TikTok and Instagram to become the most quickly adopted program in the history of the internet in 2023. Heading into 2024, OpenAI, with billions in financial backing from Microsoft, stands at the forefront of the generative AI industry. Whether the company can stay there while billions more are being poured into its rivals' R&D coffers remains to be seen. A significant contributor to ChatGPT's immediate and overwhelming success is that it was the first AI of its kind to market. Image generators like DALL-E and Midjourney were already popular diversions, and the public had long acclimated to more mundane machine learning tasks like language translation, but OpenAI was the first with a generative AI program that conversed naturally with its user. That novelty proved an invaluable advantage as even tech titans like Google and Amazon with their massive R&D budgets were caught unprepared for such demand and were slow to respond with competing products of their own. Google was the most ignoble example of such imitators this year. Following ChatGPT's debut, Google dedicated the vast majority of its I/O Developers Conference in March to a raft of brand new generative AI models and platforms, including the debut of the Google Bard chatbot. Bard was Google's answer to ChatGPT, just not a particularly reliable one to start. Even before its public release, Bard made an embarrassing first impression when in February it confidently recited incorrect information about the James Webb Telescope in a Twitter ad. Throughout the year, Google steadily added features, capabilities, and access to Bard, eventually shunting the entire platform in December to its newly released foundational model, Gemini, which had been billed as Google's most capable and general model built to date. Google was, of course, then immediately caught misrepresenting the system's capabilities during a video demonstration. Even without once again getting caught in an easily disprovable lie, Gemini's demo did little to quiet critics of Google's stilted and frantic response to ChatGPT. It's OpenAI's lead to lose heading into the new year. CEO Sam Altman holds firmer control over the company than ever. All dissenting voices on the board calling for caution have been silenced, and the company is poised to further expand its operations in 2024 as the technology continues its global advance. I expect to see OpenAI's competitors make a better showing in the new year, with Google, Meta, and Amazon spending freely on AI research in order to catch up and surpass the GPT platform. And even though the entire ChatGPT craze got started with individual users, Paul Silverglade, vice chair of Deloitte LLP, sees the largest gains in 2024 coming from enterprise applications. Expect to see generative AI integrated into enterprise software, giving more knowledge workers the tools they need to work with greater efficiency and make better decisions, he wrote in a recent release. A recent study by McKinsey & Company estimates that the current generation of conversational AI systems have the potential to automate work activities that absorb 60 to 70% of employees' time, thanks to rapid advancements in natural language processing technology, with half of today's work activities potentially being automated away from human hands between 2030 and 2060. That's a decade sooner than previously estimated. Thanks for listening to the show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Today's show featured journalism by Gadget contributor Andrew Tarantola and was produced by Spoken Layer. I'm Imran Sheikh, and we'll talk more tomorrow.
Spoken Layer.